The regular meeting of the Richmond Board of Education will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sandy, if you could please read our mission statement and take roll.
Sure. At Richmond Community Schools, we provide a quality education that empowers students to be successful in the global community. Candace?
Here.
Deb?
Here.
Kelly?
Here.
Angela?
Here.
Danielle?
Here.
Margaret? Here. And I am also here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we approve our agenda, we need to make two changes, please. We need to remove item C1, and we need to remove number 11, which is the action item to that instance. Our robotics team did not make it to nationals, so we'll be removing that. I need a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved. Support, Sandy.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved. Support, Sandy.
Was that Sandy?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, I'm sorry. Mr. Walmsley.
The resignations and retirement. Nicholas Berg has resigned from the middle school track coach position. And then Jamie Studer at the elementary school has announced her retirement at the end of the school year. New hires, we have Catherine Drolshagen. She will be an ELA theater teacher at the high school next year. Her start date will actually be next year, not during this current school year.
Yay.
Anna Gasconi, an assistant cook. And Griffin Fraley, the middle school boys track coach, are new hires. There are no appointments for existing positions. I had no questions or comments regarding the minutes or the claims and accounts.
Any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Our Blue Devil Raves, I'll just go around the board here. Candace, do you have anyone?
Yes, tonight, because of our
The volunteer?
volunteer appreciation, I know I really wanted to extend a little extra out to the PTO down at the elementary school for, this goes back to 2020, when we were all part of huge, exciting things going on down at the elementary school, and because we were no longer able to go into the school, our PTO members stepped out of the box and became the COVID aides, and really just kept all of the spirit in the school going throughout that year, which was so needed. And I just wanted to give an extra shout out to them if they're in here anywhere, because they really stepped out of the box for that during that time, and it just made a big difference, and I know it did. So
Thank you.
Yeah.
Margaret?
No, nothing.
Kelly?
No, not today.
Danielle? No. Sandy?
I don't have anything today, no.
Angela?
I'm all set.
I'm all set too. We'll move on. Our next item on our agenda is the district spotlight. We're going to start with our National School Volunteer Appreciation Week. Mr. Walmsley?
Thank you. We started this a couple years ago, and as Candace alluded to, COVID hit, and we didn't continue to do that era that's hopefully behind us, and not looking back on that. But this gives us an opportunity to thank our volunteers in our schools. The volunteers offer their time, they offer inspire and their hopes and dreams to helping others. They are members of the team, both in the school and outside in the community. They are selfless, generous, and kind. They extend hands when needed and make a difference each and every day in our students' lives and our schools. National School Volunteer Appreciation Week is April 16th through 22nd of this year, which is next week. And we are truly blessed to have such wonderful, caring volunteers in a variety of aspects that help in the classroom, at the school, at athletic events, assume leadership roles, and et cetera. Our volunteers go above and beyond what is asked of them, and they do it all for the students and staff of Richmond. So it's a great pleasure that we recognize our volunteers. In your packet, you have a list of the invitations that went out, or at least the names. Obviously, not everybody could make it tonight with schedules and so forth. So tonight, I'm going to ask our department leaders, our administrators to come up. They're going to read the volunteers for their area. If the board could come up and line up and shake the hands of the volunteers as they come across. We have a certificate to give them, a pin, and just a small token of our appreciation for what they do each and every day. So if I could have the board on this side and maybe the administrators on this side. And when your name is called, volunteers, if you please come up, shake the hand of the board, and receive your certificate.
I probably shouldn't. COVID negative, but I think it's okay.
No, it's negative. It's been over 10 days, but I just don't want to. Too many things. Oh, I know, yeah.
Ready?
Okay, we are ready.
You're going to wait on this side then?
Oh, yes.
And then you walk.
Yes. All right, good evening. I'm Mrs. Jankuni, the elementary principal. We're going to do this in alphabetical order, so we're going to switch between us as we read the names. But I would like to start with recognizing Mrs. Bashki. She is being nominated for volunteering at the book fair. Where do I start?
Thank you. This is going to be good arm workout.
My first two I'm recognizing are Miss Terry Serby, who served as our Booster Club president, and then my right hand at a lot of sporting events, Mark Serby.
I would like to call up the following volunteers. Ms. Christy Crampton, who volunteered at the Boo Bash. Kim DeLange, who helped at the band festival and at the Boo Bash. And that's Ms. Naomi.
And I would like to call up Mrs. Lacey Fisher for doing classroom help.
Okay, I would like to invite Jeremy Gabridge up for volunteering for a field trip. I think it was probably to the Holocaust Museum. And Alicia Gardner for the Boo Bash.
Next one is Miss Stephanie Germain, who's helped us with our past couple track meets.
I would like to call up Mr. Gibson for volunteering at Greek Club.
Next one, another member of our athletic booster club, Miss Marcy Jarvis.
And I would like to recognize Miss Holly Montrose for classroom help. Also, Mrs. Murphy for school decorating, book fair, Santa shop, PTO, mom prom, Little Caesars pizza kit distribution, and she loves us so much she's a sub in the building now.
Next one, Miss Kelly Oldani, who helps us at our middle school athletic events with the clock. And while she's going across, she helps with the boo bash as well.
That's why you run our clock so well.
We'd like to recognize Angela Pacito for helping with the band boosters as a secretary.
All right, I have a few volunteers here to announce. First, I would like to recognize Mr. Pacito for Lego Robotics. And also Lisa Rands for PTO help.
I'd also like to recognize Mrs. Rands as she comes across, who's helped us with our concession stand a couple times.
It's actually going to be Heidi, but I am going to, Mrs. Cunningham has been a volunteer for Starbase. We did not call your name because your name was not highlighted, so thank you very much for volunteering.
This is one of my favorites. I would like to recognize Mr. Showers for bringing books for bikes to the elementary. He gives out many bikes.
Next one is another member of our booster club, Miss Tammy Sherry. And you probably see her quite a bit working in the concession stand. And I think that's it. Yep.
They're both here. Don't leave.
All right, well, I will give it a second time. So we have Roger Cunningham for the dodgeball and blue bash.
And then we also have Jessica Romanowski for classroom help. And Jody Schroeder for March's Reading Month and Science Night.
Yes, yes. I didn't officially know.
And then we have, last but not least, Mrs. Manchek for math pages and March's Reading Month.
Steve's. Oh, thank you, yes.
Okay, our next item on our agenda is our instructional spotlight. We're going to look at our academic and athletic 2023 summer camps. Ms. Staples.
Invite Mr. Friend up here because this year we are doing a joint effort to be able to bring great summer programming here for all of our students for academics and athletics here for Richmond. So our flyer, you can see if you guys have a copy, they're also available at the front this evening. They are going to be released to the public tomorrow. I wanted to share the joy with all of you tonight. It is one of the best times of the year. I literally sent out an email actually to staff today saying, if you guys want to have some fun over the summer, come and teach summer school. But I really do mean it. It was actually a lot of fun and blast. So I'm excited to share some of our new programming here tonight. So we have some academic camps and just some basic information. Camps are going to run in the morning. All academic enrichment camps are absolutely free. That was a common question. You need to be able to be in an academic camp in order to be in an enrichment camp. Transportation, breakfast, and lunch will be provided for students. We have some of our primary camps. This one is Kinder Connect, geared for current preschoolers that are going to go into kindergarten, and first grade fundamentals for current kindergartners going into first grade next year. It's for them to get a jump start on their early literacy skills. It's really going to focus on phonics, phonemic awareness, and that basic letter sense and word recognitions. We have our STEM literacy camp for current grades 1 through 3, entering 2 through 4. This is a really fun camp. This is geared about how to teach science concepts through literacy. They get to build their own forts. They get to go read inside those forts. And it's just a lot of fun being able to explore that informational text. Our math mindset camp is going to be for current 5th through 7th graders and entering 6th through 8th graders. This really focuses on mathematic growth mindset based on the work of Carol Dweck and based on the work of the U-Cubed project, really going into that ratios and proportionalities and mathematics to be able to get them geared up and ready for middle school math. Middle school readers and writers, this is a brand new camp. We had it last year and it was a big hit. We had 2 different workshops and it's coming back this year for grades 3 through 7, entering 4 through 8. We broke up the camps so our 4th and 5th graders had their opportunity to read lots of books, have that read to self time. do a lot of characterization, be able to do a lot of exploring through writing, and then our 6-8 camp too, where they got to walk away with 20 or so different novels too from the ISD. So this was a brand new camp, and we're one of the launching schools for this program, and it was a big hit. This is a program that we're launching this year, Teacher Cadet Internship, and it's specifically for our current teacher cadets that are in our CTE program this year. We are going to be offering an internship, so if they would like to earn some of their hours for their YDA credential and help out and get that experience here in the classroom, they can sign up to be an intern and actually be in the classroom to help out, and it'll be really a blast. So I'm hoping our cadets, I actually went into Miss Smallwood's room and talked to the cadets about the program, and they all seem so eager and wanting to join the internship. So we are looking at having credit forward as an opportunity for students to get a head start on the year. It's going to be based on interest to see what courses we can run. Credit recovery is obviously going to be back, and we're going to be offering for kids that are falling behind and credits needed to graduate, so those core classes. We're going to be utilizing Edgenuity again for the program to help them recover. Our enrichment camps. Enrichment camps are all in the afternoon. Once again, all enrichment camps are free. You do need to be enrolled in an academic camp. We can't just have you show up for all the fun. You got to be doing the thing and learning in the morning too. Once again, transportation, breakfast, and lunch will also be provided for all students. Here is a glimpse of all of our enrichment camps. We have some brand new camps and some good favorites coming back. Gardening for our preschool and through grade 1. That was a great camp last year, and they got to watch their little seedlings hatch, and everything was really great. Arts and crafts was a huge hit, coming back for preschool through 2nd grade. Lego City was obviously a fan favorite as well. We even had some guest speakers come in for that one. That one is returning, geared for grades 1 and 2. A brand new camp, Wild Robot STEM. This is going to be based off of the book, The Wild Robot, where you actually get to go on the adventure with Roz the robot and go through some of those STEM activities that that character actually goes through. Campfire stories, geared for grades 2 through 4, where we're actually going to literally get a tent and like a little big fire. They're going to do creative writing. They're going to sit around, share the stories. And it's all about exploring the love for writing. Puzzles, pie, and game strategies, geared for people that want to share games, do math puzzles. That's a really fun camp. Creating clay creatures for grades 3 through 11. They're actually going to be able to create their own characters or do an existing character from a novel and be able to actually go through that entire process for them creating them. Lastly is photography, geared for current 5 through 11th graders, and they get to explore all sorts of different types of photography using digital camera or their phones. They even get to do some stop motion animation and some neat things with that. So, Girls STEM Camp is also coming back. So we were one of the launching districts for this fantastic program last year. The theme was Tinkering Toys, where the girls actually got to use power tools, soldering irons, did a whole STEM panel with women in the industry, and actually got to create their own toys for students with special needs and got to give them back to the students here in the community. So this is proudly returning, and it's going to be for 5th and 6th grade girls.
So just to piggyback off of those enrichment camps, this year, I'm happy a lot of our coaches, when I kicked it to them, were like, you know, if it can up our numbers, let's do it. So we moved a lot of our athletic camps into that enrichment time period. We also looked at the camp schedule, making sure we didn't have overlap with camps so that kids could go do, they can do basketball, they can do football, they can do wrestling, they can do volleyball, et cetera, as well as still attend the academic camps. So they're offered by our athletic programs here at the high school. They'll either take place in the gym at RHS or out on the football field in the stadium. So the camps we've got so far locked in, volleyball for grades 5 through 8. That one will actually take place after the enrichment period, from 2 to 4. Wrestling, grades 1 through 8. Football, grades 1 through 6. Girls basketball, grades 3 through 8. Boys basketball, grades 3 through 8. And then tennis, we're still working on the tennis and the cheerleading dates and getting with those coaches because there's some other people we have to coordinate with to get those dates finalized. But I'll communicate any of those out through our athletic Facebook page. So we're really excited to be partnering with this because it gives the kids the opportunity to go get lunch. It handles some of the transportation, getting them there. So when Miss Era approached me about this, I was like, let's do it, 100%.
Great. Do you guys have any questions for us about the camps? Exciting stuff?
Very exciting. I do. Just, Mr. Trund, we're looking cheerleading and soccer, it says here, so.
We still have to finalize those dates.
But we are having them, we just haven't finalized
Yeah,
dates. That's
yeah.
what this is.
We're working with
Okay.
those coaches on when they're going to have
Okay,
theirs.
okay. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
This is great.
Love the flyer.
Great.
Nice and colorful.
Great flyer,
Very
yeah.
nice.
It's very exciting stuff.
Just a clarification, the cost for the athletic camps is a
Yeah.
fundraiser for those
Yes,
athletic
that's why
programs.
the athletic camps have a fee with it, because that's what our teams use that as a fundraiser each year. So,
Where's the registration for?
On the back, it gives you information about the registration will be at our lovely
Okay, I wasn't
Richmond
sure.
event.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was just the girls' STEM camp or that's for all of it.
Yep,
Okay.
all of it.
So,
Everybody can sign up, and then as well as we'll have registration forms where they can, if they can't attend the event, or all these flyers are gonna go home with all the kids. So they're gonna have a registration flyer attached.
Okay. Is there any enrichment camps for high schoolers?
Yes.
Or is it just?
So if you see
There is
down
a
at the
couple. I
bottom,
did see,
yep,
yes,
the slate
okay.
creatures and the photography.
Okay, great.
As well, you know, you have the upper kids for the puzzles and pie, but yeah, they can take photography and they can take the creating clay creatures. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our next item on our agenda is under business and operational. We have band and choir overnight extended student trip request to Chicago.
Here we have Mrs. Shack and Mrs. Core. Just so you ladies know, the board had a packet that you would give me. In your hands, so they have it.
Stacy and I were looking to travel, get back to traveling again. It's been a number of years since Richmond has done any overnight trips with the band or the choir, so we're looking to get back in the swing of things. We'd like to travel to Chicago next fall. This would be one night, maybe Friday, November 3rd to Saturday. We come home the next day on Saturday night, November 4th. There is a cost. So the cost of the trip, right now, we're looking at a body occupancy of $699 per student. And, you know, we're looking for one bus to go with that cost. So we need about 45 students and 5 adults to attend the trip to make it a go at that price. And this is for high school, next year's 9th and 12th graders.
So some of the, it's kind of an action-packed 2 days. So we leave super early Friday morning. We stop at Vandercook College of Music where they do we do a band and choir clinic. So it is, you know, there's some educational things there. We also get to go and have a Chicago pizza. But we also get to go see Blue Man Group in the evening. And then the next morning we go to Shedd Aquarium and the pier, and hopefully ending our evening with Hamilton before we board the bus for 5 hours. So those are just, it's definitely action-packed, so there's lots of things. And we're also traveling with Bob Rogers Travel, which is the travel company that went to Cedar Point and a lot of the other, so they're kind of arranging that for us. Any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Yeah. So this is a travel agency that you have experience with and all of that?
Yeah, we've had over, 20 years experience with Bob Rogers.
Okay. And then you said in your paperwork, with the cost, there's the chance for fundraising, so that's an option for students, right? Okay. Just so we say that we're Yeah, okay. All right, thank you.
Where are you guys getting the pizza from? There you go. Okay.
The only place to get pizza.
That's right.
And the cost of the trip does include all the meals.
Any other questions?
It's very exciting.
Sounds good. Yeah. Thank you very much for coming tonight.
Tell them we'll vote on it in 2 weeks. We're voting on it in 2 weeks, so they know.
Yeah, we will be voting on it in our next meeting in 2 weeks.
You don't have to attend that, you're welcome to attend, but I'll let you know, email.
Okay, our next item on our agenda is the volleyball overnight extended student trip request to Hillsdale College.
So I'll be presenting on behalf of Coach West with this. We've met quite a bit about this camp. It's a camp she's done for a couple years. She's actually really familiar with the Hillsdale area. She worked down there for a couple years, but it'll be girls 8th grade through 12th grade, a group of 16 to 20 girls to maximize their playing time while they're down there. They'll go down there with Coach West, Coach Coach Gallagher, and Coach Jones. The parents will carpool them down there. They'll stay in the dorms. The cost ends up working out to about $181 per player for the 3 days they're there, plus $10 each night for dinner. So they'll ride down there with their parents, they'll stay, and then they'll play quite a bit of volleyball while they're there.
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Coach West couldn't make it tonight?
No.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay,
All right.
we will vote on this in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on our agenda is our superintendent district and legislative update. Mr. Walmsley.
First, I'd like to respond. There were 2 public comments. The last one specifically regarding the district's decision. One is regarding a 45-day placement that was quoted regarding a student that is supposedly special education. I would just like to clarify that if the district has a general ed student, or they have a 504 student, or if they have a student that receives special education services, there are rules and regulations that are put out by the Michigan Department of Education, as well as the federal government, that we have to follow. And the course of action the district takes is going to depend on what that student's disability is or is not. And so the information that was shared wasn't actually 100% correct regarding the situation. So I just want to clarify that what we do in the district is to make sure that we are in compliance with what the laws and the rules and regulations require us to be. That's first and foremost. The second, there was a parent that talked about the need to know a plan that a student was returning. Oftentimes, I would probably say more often than not, anytime there's a student that has any type of disciplinary action, no matter what level, there is a plan that's put in place. And it can be as simple as conversations with counselors or social workers or check-ins in the office to very detailed plans. And so the point of me saying this is that we do not share those plans with anybody that doesn't have an educational interest for those students. Whether parents feel the need, they must know, we don't share them. And that's the expectation with our staff too, that they are not sharing information that is pertinent to a student's behavior plan or a student's IEP or educational plan with anybody that shouldn't have that knowledge and so forth. In front of you, I left you a copy of the MISD's budget. This Thursday is the MISD's budget hearing. I believe, Margaret, you're going to that one, or?
I'm going.
Sandy's going.
Sandy.
Yep.
But this is a copy for the board. They will go over this that night, and then Sandy will bring it back to the next board meeting. At some point, the board will have to vote on the approval or recommendations if you guys would like to see changes to their budget. It's an annual thing we do as a district. Other than that, we are back after spring break with students tomorrow, so that's all I have.
Thank you. Items of interest from the board. Candace?
Nothing tonight.
Sandy?
I don't have anything tonight.
I'll do mine real quick. And just a reminder, you all should have gotten in the mail from the Macomb County School Boards Association an invite to the Educational Leadership Dinner. That's on Tuesday, April 25th. It's a nice meal and presentation. It's at the ISD, so we could try to go or get a group of us to go. Kelly?
No, I don't have anything.
Angela?
I'm all set, thank you.
Danielle?
I don't have anything super specific, but just kind of as a note to the volunteer awards that went out. I didn't get up to shake hands, but prior to Richmond spring break, during my school spring break, I came down with COVID. So I was cleared by a doctor because we have some medical issues in the family that I can be around people, but I just, out of an abundance of caution, I didn't really want to shake anybody's hands. So just saving that for our house. But I didn't want to be rude and not shake hands, but hey, just so rude.
Margaret?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Next item on our agenda is, I need a motion to go into closed session.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session. Is there a Pursuant to Section 8C of the Michigan Open Meeting Act, I move that the Board of Education go into closed session for the purpose of negotiations.
Do I have support?
Support. Nothing was in here somewhere. It's all right.
Any discussion?
Say something.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will return from our session to finish up our meeting with public comments. We'll be going back into open session at 8:25.
Excuse me.
Okay. Last item on our agenda is public comments. Since the last board meeting, I have received 2 emails. One was from a parent recommending the Leader in Me program, which I forwarded on to Mr. Walmsley, and the other was from a parent recommending attending the Michigan Kids Back on Track Zoom meeting. I was unable to attend this meeting due to a prior commitment. At this time, any member of the audience may address the board. Please sign in and state your name. You'll have 3 minutes to address the board. Are there any public comments?
My name is Cheryl Jar. I'm a 1984 graduate of Richmond High School. When I started my career, Richmond was the district where people came and didn't leave until they retired. I actually taught in a private school for 5 years while I waited for an opening to come home to Richmond. I'm now in my 28th year as a Richmond teacher. Several of my colleagues are here with me tonight to demonstrate to you why Richmond teachers are the heart of our schools. Sorry, gracefulness is not reason.
I guess that's your whole comment, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Jody Schroeder, and I've been a teacher here in Richmond for 30 years, all 30 years at Willow Lee. And I just have a fact. Did you know that there are 29 students who have served Richmond students for 10 plus years right now, still currently teaching with us?
This is going to be weird. Whatever.
I have been a teacher here in Richmond for 6 years. Richmond is our hometown school. Currently, 11 teachers like myself are alumni who have come back to serve their families and their community.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Churchill. I'm a 1993 graduate of Richmond. I've been a Richmond teacher here now for 8 years and have 24 years teaching experience. I'm a teacher that is still stepping on our pay scale. As of today, 13 teachers have chosen to leave our schools this year for better opportunities, but we are fighting to make sure no more leave.
My name is Christina Walla. I have been a Richmond teacher for 4 years. I hope to retire one day after teaching my entire career in Richmond.
My name is Heather Merrill, and I've been a Richmond teacher for just under 2 years. Teachers regularly give up their prep to sub. In fact, one middle school teacher has subbed 24 times this year already. We do whatever it takes for our students.
My name is Margaret Monroe. I have been a Richmond teacher for 24 years, a teacher for actually 28 years. Just a little fact, there are at least 9 teachers who teach a full schedule with no prep.
My name is Sherry Bursell, and I've been a Richmond teacher for 20 years, and I am the co-advisor of the NMS Builders Club. And like so many of my colleagues, I take on extra duties so that our students can benefit from a variety of experiences.
Hello, my name is Stacey Buchanan. I've been a Richmond teacher for 4 years. Did you know that several Richmond teachers have stepped up to provide prep and lessons for classes currently taught by long-term subs this year?
Good evening. My name is Leah Guzak. I've been teaching Richmond Community Schools since November 2017. I'm the art director and teacher at the high school. I've been very involved in numerous committees and events since I was hired. Over the years, I've been afraid to take time off of work and afraid to speak my mind, but I'm RHS Teacher of the Year and finally have the courage to speak on behalf of those who want a future in Richmond. I have 8 to 9 preps a year and currently work on my prep hour. This will no longer be the case next year, taking over $8,000 away from my salary due to a 7-period day. Excuse me. as multiple electives fight to retain the programs to new CTE offerings. Without my husband's income, I know that I would not be able to support us alone without getting another job. This is a huge cut for me and for others that are in the same situation. Working this very full schedule and receiving the additional income is what kept Richmond Community Schools competitive for me. As I teach multiple elective classes in 1 hour, other core teachers are accommodated for their time and efforts. Inflation is at an all-time high and teachers are in demand. So why is this so complicated? When we ask for something to help make ends meet, something is always taken away. We're told that we are valued and that we are needed, yet when push comes to shove, it is an uphill battle. The pay in Richmond Community Schools is not competitive, and morale is at an all-time low. Yes, great things happen in Richmond Community Schools, but teachers are tired and they're leaving in droves. And we are left to pick up the pieces. Expectations are too high for what we are being paid, and often our voice is ignored. Staff are afraid to talk, and I see people frazzled, sometimes crying from the stress, taking mental health days because it is too much. We will continue to lose people who truly care, such as myself, because little has been proved. Thank you.
Are there any other public comments? Okay, before we close this evening, I have a statement that I'd like to make on behalf of the Board of Education. I do need permission from the board because I will be sharing information from our closed sessions. So Danielle?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
Angela?
Yes.
Candace? Yes. Margaret?
Yes.
And Kelly?
Yes.
Thank you. We have lost 16 teachers since September. I have the list right here. Out of that number, half are at the top of the teacher matrix. 13 of them hold master's degrees, with 6 having master's degrees plus 15 to 30 additional credits. Why are they leaving? In January, the board discussed the need to seek out ways to retain our teachers and attract other teachers to the district. We started by comparing our teacher salaries with other districts. We noticed that our starting salary up to step 5 is competitive. However, anything over step 10, we fall significantly behind. Richmond has 10 steps on our salary matrix, and with a master's, and I only did master's, tops out at $69,000. And that's on our current 22 and 23 pay scale. Districts around us have anywhere from 16 to 20 steps on their salary schedule and top out anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000. Our teachers who are at the top of the scale will only receive a negotiated percent increase. Those who are below step 10 receive both the percent increase and a step. Because of the need for teachers, most of the teachers leaving Richmond are starting at a higher rate of pay than what they are receiving in Richmond. This is because most of them are going into other districts on a step 10 or higher. Finally, the Michigan State pension is determined on your 3 highest consecutive years of earnings. By leaving Richmond, they can make anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000 more. So our top-end teachers, of course, are going somewhere else as they look out for their future retirement earnings. The superintendent and the board determined that we needed to increase the matrix scale for the teachers who are over step 10 to retain and attract teachers to our district. On February 13th, the union proposed an offer to the board. Their offer was only a temporary fix as it would not increase the steps on the matrix. The board felt their offer would not solve our problem. We instructed Mr. Walmsley to come back with a counter offer to the teachers. This offer was given to the teachers union on February 14th. This offer had some short-term and long-term options, one being adding up to step 14 on our matrix scale. We did not hear back from them regarding our offer until February 27th at 5 p.m. They declined all options. On February 27, 2023, Mr. Walmsley reported to the board that the union declined our offer. As a board, we listened to their reasoning and came up with another offer. This continued back and forth during the whole month of March. Both board meetings' time was spent on providing a counteroffer to the teacher's request. For those who do not know, any offer we make must go through 3 steps. It must get approval from the MEA, NEA Local 1, the teacher negotiating team, and then our teachers. The teachers in general may not even know what is being proposed until it is approved by Local 1. On March 29th, Mr. Walmsley met with our REA president and vice president to offer yet another proposal, and he received a positive response. They stated that this proposal was a good compromise of both the teachers' union offer and the district's offer. This proposal would provide a benefit to all our teachers without any concessions being made. However, the Local 1 representative was not present. On March 31st, Mr. Walmsley heard from the local, and they will not agree to this latest offer. As of now, we do not have an agreement. When we started this process, we realized we had a problem and we were seeking a solution. We have tried to work with our REA and Local 1 and are extremely frustrated that they are not willing to be a part of the solution. They keep wanting more. This was not about negotiations. They have a contract until 2024-25. We were trying to work with our teachers' union to solve the problem of retaining and attracting teachers. Our lack of an agreement with our teachers is definitely not due to lack of trying on the part of this board and superintendent. We have to do better for all the employees of our district. At this moment in time, our initial focus of retaining and attracting teachers has revolved into negotiating a settled contract, and the board is not interested in doing that. The meeting is adjourned at 8:40.